Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always, double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking about Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, short-term PSECU. All right. Now, people are excited because they can be just joining them, and PSECU or Penn State Employees Credit Union, they're actually blessing them with $30,000 credit cards, $20,000 loans, right? But what if I told you that you actually can get almost $100,000 out of Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union? Yes, $100,000. Okay. Now, the thing about it is we're going to go through the data points so that I can explain it to you. First, understand. All right. In order to get $100,000 out of Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, okay, let's look at it like this. One inquiry, they use that inquiry to open up your checking account. Then you can apply for a credit card, right? Then you can apply for a loan, right? So that's where most people would stop. Okay, that inquiry lasts for 30 days, but that's where they would stop. But the thing about it is, what if you got a car loan also through them? Okay, if you needed a car, what if you got a car loan through them? Now, say that you got to qualify for a car loan, and that's about a $30,000, right? So we're looking at about 80. Well, guess what? Okay, Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, they also offer business credit cards up to $20,000. This is what I mean about finding those right institutions. Like I keep telling you guys that like it's not necessary to always run to the bank when you need funding and stuff like that. Whether it's on the personal side or business side. Credit unions, they're very flexible. Okay. Now, in order to join Pennsylvania State Credit Union, $10. Actually, it's $20, but they'll pay $10 if you pay $10 for their friend membership. Okay, friendship membership, right? And then now the credit scores, people are saying, "Oh, we need about 690." That's not true. That's not true, and I'll tell you why. And I'm gonna go over some of the things that will help you understand it. The credit scores is between a 620 and up. Okay, it's not a 680 or 690. It's a 620 and up, and I'll be able to explain to you why that is. Now, they may pull your Experian FICO 2 or your FICO 8. Okay, but they're always going to pull your Experian. Okay, and like I say, you with that one inquiry, 30 days to apply for multiple accounts. So that's your checking account, your loans, your credit cards, car loan. Like I said, in reference to the business credit card, they may still use that same inquiry. Because the business credit card is in a different department, they may want to do a second pull. But sometimes they may use that same inquiry to get that $20,000 business credit card if you have an active business. Now, I broke down some of the data points in terms of the high-risk NAICS codes for credit unions and stuff. So I'll put a link to that video so you can know exactly what is a bad NAICS code for a business if you're trying to get funding. All right, so I'll put a link for that. Now, explaining the $250 that they give you. In order for you to get for opening up a checking account, you have to have a qualifying direct deposit. And you have to be the $250 comes from qualifying direct deposits. Okay, so you can understand, because I know a lot of people have heard, they like, well, what does that come from? Well, $150 is from the qualifying direct deposit. Then another $100 when you open up the free checking account with the debit card. Okay. Now, like I said, this company, this financial institution, this credit union, they're actually more or less on the type of relationship you have with them. Okay? So, when I talk about Navy Federal internal scoring, this is another credit union that really looks at internal scoring. Now, for some of you guys, if you have your Experian blocked, you have to unblock your Experian because you'll get denied. If you have your check systems blocked, you have to unblock your check system. If you're in check systems, then you may get denied as well because they are very heavy on check systems. And so those are just some of the data points. But here's something else that you need to understand. They don't publicize their internal scoring the way that Navy Federal does, right? But here's the things that you have to understand. Like I said, with the credit scores going from 620 and up versus most people think it's a 680 or a 690 and higher. That's not true. Here's the reason why. With Pennsylvania State Credit Union, if you had some history with them, 6 months or more with them, all right? If you have a direct deposits, if you have a secured credit card with them, those are data points. Having one of their better checking accounts, okay, having a savings account with them, these are internal scoring points that they look at also. Even if you have a lower credit score, this is how you actually get more money out of them because they're looking at, hey, you're doing a lot of banking with us and we want to continue working with you. This is why it's important. That's the reason in terms of history, right? So the utilization of insufficient funds, on-time payments, those things matter. Okay, and again, talking about the credit cards. Now, their internal scoring, it almost reflects Navy Federal's internal scoring. Again, most people think that, oh, they're just going to give me this or whatever, and it's not the case. It's not the case at all, okay? You have to have a relationship with more of these financial institutions, especially if you have a lower credit score. This is why it's so important to make sure that you have a checking account, a savings account. If you have bad credit, make sure you have a secured card. Again, the reason that I like Pennsylvania State Credit Union, it's the same reason I like Navy Federal, because they not only look at the personal side, but also giving you funding on the business side. And that's the reason you can actually raise $100,000 with these type of credit unions, okay? Now, let's say you just have a 620 credit score, okay? And you're in check systems. Well, and you still need funding. Then you may want to look at companies like UPSTART that look at a FICO 9. Pennsylvania State Credit Union looks at FICO 8, okay? They look at FICO 8. But if you don't want the hard inquiry, unless you actually get approved for funding, then you probably want to look at UPSTART, okay? And they actually will tell you the amount that you're approved for before you even take the loan, all right? The debt-to-income ratio is also, that's another thing I want to point out about Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union. Their DTI, the debt-to-income ratio, may go up to 55%. Well, what happens if you're over that 55%? Again, that may be a data point that will get you denied. So then, but if you have a 620 credit score and say that you have a 70% debt-to-income ratio, then you may want to try to look at a loan from like UPSTART, and their loans go from $1,000 to $50,000. Then taking that loan money and paying down like some of your credit card debts or some of your other loans so that you can get approved for the Penn State Employees Federal Credit Union. All right? That's the reason that you want to, Penn State Employees Credit Union. That's the reason that you want to always work on your FICO 9. Leverage your FICO 9 first to get as much money to help pay down your debt and stuff so your FICO 8 score can go up higher, then you're able to reach out to the credit unions like Penn State Employees Credit Union. This is strategy, people, in order to help you get access to more funding. Now, another lender that don't trip off of credit, again, if you're trying to pay down your credit cards in order to join Penn State Employees Credit Union, would be CREDITLOAN, because they don't trip off of your credit score. They're not tripping off your DTI. What they're looking at in terms of how long you've been on the job, how much is your income, you know, what are your expenses. But you have to have an active bank account. Now, their loans go from $250 up to $40,000. Okay. Now, unfortunately, they don't operate in New York or Connecticut, but if you have bad credit, they may still offer you a loan up to $5,000. Now, let's talk about this FICO 9 again. You have PENFED, right? The only thing, like I told you guys in prior videos that I made about PENFED, is because they don't offer business accounts. However, they do offer large lines of credit and loans. Especially like with loans, it's easier to get car loans through PENFED, personal loans through PENFED. It's very easy. Okay, in reference to credit cards, I always tell you guys to go after their Visa signature cards because they usually start at about $5,000. Now, I made a video on that. If you, what I'll do, I put a link below the description so you can see all the data points about PENFED Credit Union as well. Like I said, because they don't offer business checking accounts, they're not one of my top fave in terms of getting the maximum amount of funding. Okay, but they are pretty generous with their loans and their car loans as well. All right, now, again, their credit cards can go from $5,000 and up on the Visa signature, but you have to become a member, and I explained in the video how you actually become a member, but it's a FICO 9 Equifax, okay, and it's pre-approved, so that way you can get pre-qualified before you even go pull the trigger on it. That's the reason I continue to tell you guys, use your FICO 9. Use your FICO 9. It's much easier to build up because you'll be able to get access to more funding. And then once your FICO 9, the funding you use, help pay down some of your other bank credit cards and stuff like that, then switch over to the FICO 8. Now, Navy Federal, of course, we know that they show you much love as well, you know, because they're not only giving you the credit cards, the lines of credit, plus they give you business credit cards as well. And they use FICO 9 TransUnion, okay? So, which is very good. Now, after 91 days, say that they give you a Visa signature of $5,000 and you want a credit line increase, by you keeping a low DTI, debt to income ratio, after 91 days going through the app so you won't get another hard inquiry, then you can apply for a credit line increase. Okay? So if you have any questions about business credit, personal credit, business credit funding, personal credit funding, click the link in the description. Thank you.